Are you posting it to what's the name? To Facebook?
Yeah, let me setting it up
Oh,
and
cool.
Live from quarantine. Y'all live from quarantine?
Live.
It says it.
There it
It says
is.
live.
Y'all
We in there.
quarantine? Is Massachusetts quarantine?
nah.
No? Y'all free?
What y'all on, man? He said,
DC? Y'all free?
give us us
For the
free,
most
man.
I
part.
don't know why.
You said you are? Man.
But I
Of
don't
course
go
you-
anywhere anyway. Like even if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we were
Y'all locked down. I thought.
We're live.
I think at 10.
Yeah, you got the curfew. DC keeps going forward, which I don't understand. I'm like,
But I don't go anywhere.
whatever. Yeah,
So it means nothing to me.
yeah.
Uh,
I went out.
yeah,
I went
don't know.
outside today, just out
Where'd you go? Yeah,
just for a walk.
gotta do that. It was nice out.
Yeah.
Just cold as shit.
48 degrees, man.
Oh, 48? No, I'll actually take that. I thought it was like 38. So,
I dig it.
word. You have to share? Did I share?
Yeah, we locked down to the 18th.
We live.
Yeah.
Uh,
And after that, we're gonna hit that bar up, man. You want to take that drive?
No. Yeah, we'll see. No, I'm all set on that drive.
LA
Drive it.
was
And
LA
then-
was wilding, dog.
Yeah.
You already know when they hit the fan, she's the first one to go down. So why even bother? All right, we out here. We live. We ready. So everybody got they something to sip on.
What is that?
It's not like a Long Island.
No, it's not. I'll tell you off air because again, sponsorship.
I mean, what's
you
the
get
liquor?
no free pub. Again, I'm not giving nothing. No,
You can't say vodka.
Nope. I tell you if it's vodka, if it's brown, I ain't saying nothing, man. That's how we out here, man. Pay me. No, what's up?
This next episode brought to you by rum.
All of it.
all every single one of
Dark rum,
them.
silver, gold, all of it.
Yeah, man. What's up, y'all? Officially, episode 2, the Liner Notes Live. A-Quil here, along with my esteemed colleagues. Are we esteemed colleagues? I just want to say that word, but
I think
whether
I'm
it fits
esteemed.
or not.
I think
Cool.
I am.
Joe, you esteemed?
What does esteemed mean?
Not at all.
Esteemed is like, what you do to your broccoli and
I feel like if you're
So,
that you have to be an academic of sorts. I feel like for esteemed, you got to be able to read some kind of books.
yo, I read books.
I went back to school late. My very last class, I had to pass a finance class. My final went so bad that I walked into the teacher left after the final was over and didn't even collect my test.
God, dog.
I was so bad at it that I'm like, this nigga could give me days and I would still not be able to get the answers I need. And so I walked to his office, handed it to him and said, looks like I'll be seeing you in the summer. And we were real good friends. He goes, nah, you good. I was like, what?
So we know who the Liner Notes CFO is not going to be.
Facts.
Definitely.
Well, as we figure that out, we'll at least give you our names. I'm A-Quil. We got Alibi, Survival, and Joe back once again. Another live episode. We are following up episode 2 of our podcast that drops every Wednesday called the Liner Notes Podcast. And this week's album review was J. Cole 2014 Forest Hills Drive. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, talk about that score that it got, just how we felt about the episode and all that stuff. Before we get into that, just wanted to ask, since today is Saturday, we're live. That means Thanksgiving was Thursday. How was your turkey day? If you celebrate, are we too woke to celebrate that? Are we still okay to do that? Where are we at with that?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, not like the day off.
Right.
I want the day off. I just don't like the history around it and the, and the colors and all that. I don't know.
I might give a fuck.
They should call it like, family gathering day.
Hey, yeah.
Right.
You just, throw in some football, have beers, and argue about who you voted for, I guess.
take that. I'll take that. Joe, did you get into anything special? Did y'all go anywhere? Or yeah, are y'all locked down or what? We're locked down. So.
No, DC straight. So yeah, I know we're not have sponsors out, but I gotta give a shout out to a black-owned business.
Of course.
Smoke and Pig DC. I actually did not want to cook this year. I cook all the time, but they deep fried and smoked turkey. So we bought a deep fried turkey from Smoke and Pig, cooked cornbread stuffing.
I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yo, that was one of the best turkeys I ever had in my life, bro. Like it's still here. If Shane don't eat a lot, I'm gonna eat both drumsticks, both wings. So it was good. It was really good. It was dope.
Was it fairly priced?
$65. I don't know how big it is, man. Honestly, I feel like I couldn't tell you a weight off the top of my head. It's a decent sized turkey though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's up?
Nice. Alibi, anything in particular y'all got into?
No, just ate, cooked and ate. Laid around. Ain't a whole lot to do up here, lockdown, and didn't really have any visitors and didn't go anywhere. So
yeah,
just ate.
Now I saw what your wife posted on Facebook though. What was the percentage of how much she cooked and how much you cooked?
Oh, it was 50-50, man. Which is a little higher than usual. It was good. I think I made the turkey, the macaroni, the greens, and mashed potatoes, and she handled the dressing and the yams and the peach cobbler and something else.
Okay.
Made sweet potato cornbread. That was delicious.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Yo, you enacted that recipe like perfectly. Your picture looks exactly like the picture.
It didn't taste just like it. That one was too sweet. I didn't realize that she was using straight cornmeal, so it was like super sweet.
Yeah.
So I made some more today, and it was exactly how it should have been. It's already gone. So
that's shade.
The kids love it. With so much sugar in it, so they were all over the one I made on Thanksgiving. I don't know about. Do any of us celebrate Thanksgiving? No, that's the thing. Like,
no,
I don't. When people are like, "Don't celebrate the day," I'm like, "What does that mean?" Am I not like?
Damn,
to me, it's just a day to cook good ass food and like get smashed.
Right.
In America, I feel like we only do the 4th. We only do military holidays like real. Labor Day, you don't do anything. Like it's a day off. Thanksgiving's a day off. Same with Christmas, man. I'm religious, and Christmas is like half that. Like generally, you don't like we're not praying all day on Christmas, though. We still get presents, you know what I mean? So I feel like if it's not a military holiday in the US, you don't really celebrate the stuff for the the thing. You're just chilling with your family, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a day to kick it.
I mean, what are you supposed to do in protests other than like I'm all fine and good with like acknowledge this is definitely native land, so I don't have any
first of all
any issues with that whatsoever. But like, am I not supposed to eat? Like, if I don't fuck with it, am I not supposed to eat that day? Or like,
were the pilgrims killing natives?
Right?
Were they? Were the pilgrims killing natives?
I
mean, yes. Even if it was inadvertently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm honest. I don't know. Like, I don't think so.
Because where are they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think so.
We're gonna get canceled for this topic.
Yes, but,
I don't know.
I mean, that's a good question though, because you see folks like, "Oh, I thought you was woke, and now you eating Thanksgiving," and it's like, "Bam, I'm kicking it like with my people." Like, ain't that the main point?
Y'all are from Boston. Y'all supposed to know.
The only one that's like Boston is more so like Thanksgiving. We don't trip about like you just hear about the fact that the pilgrims are struggling. Number one is Columbus Day because that's huge in Boston. That's huge in most major American cities. Man. Columbus Day was the one you're like, all right, this
Columbus Day, the fuck out of here.
I don't know about this one, guys.
That's out. Minnesota got the fuck out of here. It's people indigenous Day
Yeah,
here. They put on the statue this year finally.
I like that.
Got him out of here.
Yeah,
take that, Cristobal.
Right. Well, yeah, no. As far as myself, me and my wife, we planned on cooking 50-50, and then she just kind of smashed it, and I just had to fall back. Like she was killing it, and then I just ended up DJing a live set. So for folks cooking in the kitchen, I was just DJing streaming. So.
Hey man, the pilgrims were robbing Native Americans, man, out here during that time.
Yeah,
during my stream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me during my
Not
stream.
during your stream.
Uh,
I was like, that's fucked up.
It was robbing graves and all kinds of stuff, man.
Hell yeah.
Told
Hey,
you,
those
man.
record labels robbed you a little bit, though. I saw those.
All them flags. Yeah.
All them flags.
All day. Warner Brothers, BMI, whoever else. They're like, fam, stop fucking playing this shit without paying us. I'm like, I'm just spinning music, dog. So Facebook, get out of here, man. Zuckerberg. Anyway, so speaking of more music, that they probably would ban us for, so we don't play it. J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Episode just dropped this past Wednesday. And as some folks know, we do some pre-recording. So we recorded this a while ago, but since the episode is dropped, is there anything that you guys have heard just here on the playback that you feel like we could have covered better, that maybe you don't even agree with that was said that you missed in a prior recording, or just what are your thoughts about the episode and the score, of course, which was 21.5. So spoiler alert, J. Cole 2014 Forest Hills Drive, it's not a classic by half a point. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, Joe.
So yeah, it's we, for those who are going to listen to this, we recorded a few episodes twice. When we first started the liner notes, there were more of us, and behind the scenes nigga tactics cut that number down to 4. And because of that, we had about 5 episodes worth of content, and we redid that. So the reason I'm bringing that up is the fact that when we first did J. Cole, I felt strongly about the fact that J. Cole 2014 was not deemed a classic by this podcast. In the time that we waited to redo it, when I got to re-listen and do this over again, I understood it. So to me, it's more so about the impact and how I feel when I link that album to specific things that were happening, aka Michael Brown and all other things, that I'm like, it means more. But ear test, just listening to it again when we were talking about it again, I'm like, no, I understand it. Like it almost hits the mark. But there's so many times he came really close to hitting the mark on that album that I'm like, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
So no, I'm still pissed though. Still pissed.
I agree. I mean, I typically don't like reflect on the episodes. Just like we were in there moving and shaking. We did what we did, and we scored it how we scored it. And I've been getting some fairly good feedback about the pod in general. So
yeah,
kudos to you, gentlemen. It seems like we're on the path that we need to be. In terms of like cohesion and continuity and all that stuff. So
shout out to us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Salute. Fuck it. Salute.
Yeah, we've been. Alibi was my nemesis on J. Cole. I was very upset. I feel like Alibi, you were. I feel like you are. It's like if I have 2 angels here when it comes to listening to a rap album, there's the one with the fitted hat and the jersey on this side, and then it's you. So I'm like, oh, this shit dope. And then you like, no, it's not. And I'm like, fuck, dog. Let me have this, dog. Let me have this.
I didn't say it wasn't dope.
It just wasn't a classic.
It just missed classic by point what 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What could he have done better?
What could produce the whole thing by himself?
See, I didn't mind that part at all. I think. Well, I mean, so that part affects the replayability, right? They go hand in hand. I could have boosted the replayability up a little bit, but
mute my mic.
I think it was just like it's some of the intangible stuff in terms of the impact, like like I was looking. I like crunching numbers, so I was looking at like all the impactful albums that we've reviewed so far that we have in the tuck, and it's like I don't want to say that we're skewing heavily on the impact, but like we are looking at a lot of really impactful albums, and that may just put it
I think we
how like successful you were and like what you did in the culture and stuff like that. So I mean, he's obviously at the peak of his game right now, but I think it took him a little while to he's kind of stuck in the mud or something like that, but it took him a while to kick himself into gear, it feels like, as far as like really impacting the culture.
Right.
You see something, Alibi?
Well, I think we still do overrate like the impact in general. I think that's how we do all of these things. Like we get carried away with the impact, what other people think, just like fan response, like all of that. We're trying to do our best to stay in the bubble of these things, and that's why it's good. Like impact can't outweigh any of the other categories. But
It's
I don't
facts.
feel like impact on this album wasn't the issue. He still got like a 4.5. I think it's replayability and production that drag it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what we covered when we talked about it.
Facts.
The reason I thought this was a classic was because of impact. So because of everything that was going on, this is when J. Cole went quote unquote conscious. Like he look at the change from this album and everything else. To me, this was peak J. Cole. And this is the time where you're like seeing him at rallies and stuff. So that's why it's in my head is this is the time where this has to be a perfect moment. It was the music. After hearing the music, I couldn't argue. I'm like, yo, I can't tell you each one of these songs is like seriously dope produced. Lyrics is I can't. The music here is just like, yo, it's just not that. It's great. It's not that.
It's a really good introspective album, but I don't understand how he became conscious. I don't get it. Like, I feel like J. Cole is like mislabeled, like he raps about hoes and rapping well also. Like that's like his like default. Like, and on this album, he doesn't say anything like overtly political. Like Free isn't on this album.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would have made a lot more sense.
That's a good point. I feel like because of everything outside this album is why I think of this album as that. Because literally the fact that when all this came out, the stuff that was happening to him, I know Neighbors came out after this though, but like you just started associating with J. Cole with all of the injustice. Neighbors, Mike Brown, him at rallies, Free, and it was like even the way. And I'm not saying this to be fun. I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but even the promo to his album of him just like riding the bike and playing the intro, it was like someone. It was like someone running from slavery, dog. You're just like, and you're like, oh, okay. It just felt like even him growing his hair out into dreads. You're just like, oh, he's changing who he is as a person. So you're absolutely. It's funny you say that. Like you make a good point because you just like associate a bunch of things with this dude. You hear the album, it's not that.
She shallow with the pussy. Sounds conscious to me, man. Like, I don't know, man. I've always found that weird. Like just how the credibility that folks get as being like this politically aware, like conscious folks. And I don't think Cole's was asking for that label. Right. I just think it's weird how we label that when he made a really good introspective coming of age album. Like I imagine if I was like 14 or 15 when this album came out, I would definitely feel like there was no question it was a classic, because it's a coming of age album. He's telling his story, which is partly what makes it that great,
Yeah.
I don't recall talking about this on the pod, but we got a question in the comments here. Shout out to Igo, my bro.
Hey, peace.
Asking, is KOD better than 2014 Forest Hills Drive?
Well, I don't think so, and I
think they're completely different.
I think they're different and they're the same. That's what's weird.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're like.
In what way? In what way?
They're both like the pace. Like Cole's pocket's slow. Like he's like a mid-tempo rapper. So he added a little bit more bounce on KOD, but it's still like
a little bit
mid-tempo.
He was doing that like 3-syllable multi flow. Yeah.
But that's still like tempo wise, it's still somewhere in the middle or slow. Like he ain't he wasn't jumping up like in terms of speed and stuff. So I feel like in that respect, it was similar. It's another very introspective album too, but go ahead, Survival.
I was going to say, did he hamstring himself again by producing everything?
I think, Yeah, I mean, in terms of his sound just gets old. Like it kills its own replay value. Like, he's not a bad producer, but like I feel like the replay value on his production is like limited.
Right.
KOD to me is when you become aware of what you do, what went well. And I feel like that kills artists. It like once you become self-aware, then you see this a lot with comedy. You tend to then play to those things. So if you look at KOD, the way KOD was promoted was like the more artistic version of 2014. The way that all of it, even the graphic art for the album, and it's all very Kanye Westish. You're like, oh, this went well, so now I'm gonna get super like mysterious with it. Even the songs were introspective, but to Alex's point, it was like, yeah, we're gonna go deep, but now we're going deep on drugs and stuff, and like we're gonna get rid, you know what I mean? So like, and then everyone,
taxes.
yeah, because of 2014, everyone was super amped and pumped about it because they're like, well, that went like this, so then this one should be a better version of that. And I think for artists, you got to figure out why you're making this. I talk to A-Quil about this all the time. Who is this for? And you find people like chasing dragons, dog. It's like music heroin. You know what I mean? You don't know what to fucking do because you don't really know who you're making this for or what you should be making after a certain while. Because it's millions of people are hitting you up personally saying, yo, this was amazing. That you made was one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. So then what do you do when you go back in the studio? Are you supposed to be like, well, fuck all that. I already had planned to do this other stuff. That is going to have to eat that. Or do you kind of have to craft everything from now on to fit this persona that people are giving you? So for that reason, even after just listening to KOD, I thought it was good, but it's one of those albums I don't even really play anymore. And I can't play it unless I'm willing to sit down and listen to this all the way through. So for that, I personally think 2014 is the best thing that he's ever done as an album.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can get back to that.
What order would you rank his albums in so far?
2014 number one by a lot.
I'm taking For Your Eyes Only too, even if it's.
I got a question after you rank these.
I would say 2014. Oh, go ahead, bro.
No. I was gonna say while you're pulling all that stuff up, like it's interesting because we talked about it on the pod.
Yeah.
And I think it was right at the beginning, Joel, you asked us if he's top 3 right now, and it's like difficult to reconcile being top 3 right now, not having a classic album, and then sort of being on what we're calling it, like the back 9 of your career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to picture that. And I think what that says is that hip hop is really shitty right now, or he's been doing things outside of his own albums, like features, the Dreamville shit.
Right.
Like, does that ring true and kind of bring him into the fold as top 3 because of all of the features that he'd been killing for 2018, 2019, in that era, because he had some good ones. And then the Dreamville stuff, obviously. I mean, the Dreamville project I think it was pretty good. But it wasn't like.
Yeah, it had a few joints I liked in there. I think all of that adds to why we do say he's top 3, but it is interesting how it's not just for his solo catalog. I do think his impact, I think we said this on the podcast too, but just that his ability to reach such a level and then still get back to more, again, just being yourself, backpack rap, if you will, like, but being at such a level where like people have gravitated towards this, and it's like, I don't have to follow the certain blueprint. I can follow this over here. I think that is incredibly important. But yeah, when you're just stripping down, like, what does this actually mean? What does it represent? It's a lot of people putting their hopes and dreams and putting their image onto Cole. Because I feel like, isn't that what kind of came out in the whole thing with him and No Name? And it's like, he said it, like, I'm not as smart as people portrayed me to be. Or he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much it's like, yeah, he finally kind of came on and said, like, yeah, I'm not as conscious, or I'm not as XYZ. People kind of put me on this pedestal. I'm still learning, I'm still trying. So don't, follow me, follow a no name, XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point.
And I didn't mean to take away from y'all's point. What did y'all think the order was?
Yeah, rank them albums, Joe.
I would say this 2014 is number one by far. And everything that I'm gonna rate Apparate is the closest things I have to 2014. So like, I'm gonna say For Your Eyes, KOD, Born Center, Cold World.
Yeah. Where do we put like Truly Yours?
Let me try to think. What was that?
Like, because he had he released a few of them, couple songs each, and it's weird because I honestly, it's not an album, right? But I like that collection of music better than a lot of this other stuff. And part of it's because I don't know if he produced it all, but I do know the sound is much different, even if he did produce all.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I feel like Cole when Cole is I listened to this YouTube video of Cole just through the years of rhyming, and you saw all the people that influenced him. There was a time he sounded exactly like Eminem. There's a time he sounded, every time he was going through this, his early stuff was him. And then for sure, when he went, when they started pumping money into Cole's career, you could tell it was the industry going, well, you should do this, make this song with Trey Songz, make these other songs, and you're like, some of them were cool, some of them were fine. His early albums are like that. You have those couple of those radio singles and things like that. And then later on, he starts to get more introspective. But Alibi, I think when he became more introspective, he got more positive buy-in. So at this point, it's like, shit, I could just produce this whole album. Why not?
Well,
you know what I mean? What?
Yeah. And it's smart on a lot of levels. If you can, he's not it's not like he's a terrible producer. I think we just want to hear him over something different, right? But he gets to keep all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't have feature to be able to do all of that. You're the writer, you're the producer. That's all your money. You're not paying out. That's why I said he's made more money off of music than Kendrick Lamar or Drake.
He's constantly, and I think we touched on this, constantly in the top whatever, maybe 3, 4, 5 on the Forbes list every year.
Yeah,
because he's touring, he's keeping all that all that money in house.
Yeah, and he's active. Which I wouldn't like. That's where I think, Joel, you're probably wrong saying that he's third. A lot of these dudes ain't putting stuff out. Kendrick's dropping every 3 years. Every other year, every 3 years, kind of average at this point, maybe. Cole's dropping regularly.
Wait, at what point?
Huh?
Wait, were you saying that I was wrong? What point?
With just if you said that you don't think he's in the top 3 right now.
Oh no, I do.
Okay.
Right. I do. I think
that's crazy as hell.
I think I do. I think there were 3 people at one point, and we could argue this, but there were, and not skill, but just if we talk about all the categories we talk about, for the longest it's been Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. And I'm not saying there's guys who aren't rapping their asses off somewhere else. I'm just saying those are the 3 that every time they come out with something, people are literally running to download this and buy it. It was those dudes. Mm-hmm. And I personally think Cole is in that group.
Yeah.
Consistently this era, but I feel like he's weird. He's in a spot he's like Pusha T, dog. He's in a weird spot because Kendrick has afforded the ability, and I think he's from I think it's because he's from Cali. He's afforded the ability to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He's got a clique of people around him. He's got the cosigns, and no one ever people just say, "Oh, new Kendrick, cool," and that's just it. Yeah. Cole is caught between all these different styles of music that are out right now, trends that are going in, trends that are coming out, and he doesn't have his own place. He kind of does with the introspective stuff, and I think to my point earlier, the conscious stuff. If he does stuff like that, no one's ever gonna ever question it. But I feel like he doesn't have Drake and Kendrick can do whatever they want. I don't think Cole could literally talk about whatever or do whatever. He's kind of pigeonholed and stuck in the midst of just a bunch of horse shit. So it's like, what? I'm honest. Like, where does he fit in this era right now? Like, he's got his own lane, but it's weird, man. It's just like, his peers are really just Kendrick and Drake. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, it's just
it should be Wale and Meek, and there's a few other people, but we don't. It's like their music is so different.
Yeah, Big Sean's up there, or Big Sean wants to be up there, whether he is or not. But
Crit, there's other people. Yeah,
Crit should definitely be up there. I don't. He definitely doesn't get the flowers that he deserves.
100.
Yeah.
When I feel like I'd put Crit above Cole personally.
In terms of just complete package.
Yeah, because they both do the same thing, right? They both rap, sing, produce.
Crit's by far a better producer.
Definitely, and I think songwriting wise, like he's better to me, honestly. Like as a writer, he has more creative concepts around the things that he's doing. Like I think sometimes, like Cole sometimes, man, he just seems like he almost being too smart for himself or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or just I don't know. He's not trying extra hard, but it's like, are you the dude who's trying to appear like you're not trying extra hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Crit to me, like, Crit got it. They have very similar stories too. Both like signed their record deals and afterwards was like, fuck, this ain't it.
Right.
Like they both have these Crit's got plenty of introspective songs. You listen to that double album, like one of the whole second the second album is all introspective. It's all personal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Forever's a mighty long time.
Yeah. So I feel like, go ahead. No, I just feel like he don't get the credit that he deserves, man. And it's so unfortunate because I feel like he's a very important voice. And again, their stories parallel in some respects, and it's weird because we don't mention Crit.
Yeah.
Right.
Is Cole an important voice in terms of not just skill, skill, but in terms of like if we look at anyone who had impacts on the culture for a variety of reasons for Black folks, like so you have people like Pac, Big, people who could tell a specific story, go through specific experiences, Jet Press, people were conscious. Is Cole an important voice? Because now that I think about it, when we talk about 2014 and the fact that the album is introspective, but it's not what you think based on what you think of Cole. It's not like conscious. Yeah. What is Cole the conscious voice? Is he the voice of something? Is he the what is he for this era? You know what I mean? Like I feel like
which I thought that was really strange, like that whole no name Cole, like I don't know if you want to call it a beef or
just that exchange,
exchange kerfuffle, like whatever it was. I think it was really odd that she called out, whomever she was calling out at the top, Mans, obviously, Kendrick and but I think it was more so for their platform, knowing that they were at the top. Like, use your the amount of streams and your followership, if that's even an appropriate term, but just your whole, like, just use the like awareness and all the people that like buy all your shit to be able to say like these things aren't right. And I think he was the only one to respond, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
So, and then I think he kind of got, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get all the flack because you're the one that responded, and you responded kind of in a weird, like, in a weird manner that people don't really necessarily agree with.
And the whole thing was kind of weird, right? Because it's like she's essentially, and paraphrasing, I haven't read it in a long time, but she was essentially saying like use your platform, like, but it was like use like social media. And this is like where folks are like, fam, but we're out here in the streets. So like what is more important, that I make a tweet or that I'm actually on the ground doing work? And I do give Cole that credit. He does come across, at least to me, I don't know him personally, that he's someone that's usually on the ground somewhere, like doing work. But then when he responded, it's like, yeah, that response wasn't specifically for you, but now that you've responded, and then your response just made it like mad weird. And then it's like, now you've taken the time to She made a track. He made a track. And it's like, fam, it's mad stuff going on at this point. Why are you taking the time to make this track like about her, whether you're getting your shit off, and like even if it's like, yeah, I felt a certain way, but I'm still like, it was the snow on the bluff or whatever. That was just I was just why? Why?
People don't understand how much goes into music, and I know you can do it like really quickly nowadays, but it's like he had to sit down and feel a certain way about No Name, right? And then he had to write this shit and find a beat and then lay the tracks, and then he's not doing all the shit at once, and then get it mixed and then get it mastered and then put it out. So it's like all those steps, like no one stepped in and was like, fam,
there's mad other shit going on in the world right now.
He was corny. He was corny for that, man. And she was self-righteous, and I think like her, she had to own some of that. That's part of being young, like but that's how it came across. He was dumb enough to respond. It was just stupid on his part. Like, why do you need to say anything? Like, why do you feel defensive?
Yeah, Alibi, you made a good point a long time about Cole. Like these guys who make a lot, and A-Quil, you said this too. Cole makes a lot of songs about relationships with women, and they're generally not positive. And I feel like a lot of these dudes, especially these quote unquote people who get labeled as conscious, who I'll say guys who aren't aggressively chauvinistic.
Okay.
Those are the ones who you're like, dog, this is the 8th song you made about this shit. And I think it's because they just don't understand women. If like, I'm married to a black woman. If a woman's beefing with me on Twitter, you know what your solution is? Just shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna win. Like, I don't even understand watching these young niggas. Like I'm like, yo, you can argue all day, but like, one, you're going to lose to the woman you're arguing with. Period. Secondly, it's a public argument. So there's various black women watching you argue with this woman. You're gonna lose several arguments. Nigga, just stop. Like it's just like, yo. And even the song nature, it's like some of his songs are like, bro, like it's a defense mechanism. This whole shit about not caring, telling me you don't care about women and girls means you care a lot about women and girls, dog.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
Point. Yeah.
I totally understand it. I was in my 20s before. I get it. But after a while, it's like, you just date. Just don't. I don't like it's, and you see that in his lyrics a lot. Like I didn't even like y'all put me up on it. Like I was like just listening to certain tracks, but you're like, bro, this is like song number whatever about just like the sours of relationships. I'm like, they're not even all bad like that. Like I have so many relationships that ended amicably. You're like, this ain't actually real, dude. You just gotta like chill the fuck out.
But like I said, I never understood why like he got revered like by women, kind of, because it's like, dude, how is you said like he's not aggressively chauvinistic? Like, how is she shallow with the pussy not?
But see,
aggressively.
See, because
I'm gonna need my shirt back. It's pretty.
I saw no role models for the record, though.
Exactly, because Alibi, you could explain that. You were like, I don't know. I was saying that in terms of she wasn't given that, but it's different than going bitches ain't shit. Because if you say bitches ain't shit, then it's like clear cut. But if you say
right.
No, what I mean by shallow, see, you got to read between the lines.
It was like
not deep.
Bam. Wait.
Like Hotep logic.
Yeah, it's Hotep. She's shallow. Think about it. You know what I mean?
So, do the hand motions one more time.
Shallow, not deep. You're right though.
Oh,
but it's funny though.
Yeah. Certain
people, I think that's a good point, Alibi. Like, it's easier to identify curt text, like curt, like A-Quil, we literally were just talking about this 2 hours ago. Yeah. We were talking about the fact that people who are blunt and use specific terms when they are blunt are seen as blunt. So if you're like, fuck you, I don't like you, you're an asshole, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, that dude is blunt. But if you're like, yo, I highly dislike this action that you're doing, or, you know, you just word it in a way where you're saying the same exact thing as the person who did not say it eloquently,
kind of sugarcoat,
then you're afforded a lot more breaks. So watching a guy like J. Cole rap, if you say he shot with the pussy or like, I want my shirt back, it's viewed totally different than rappers rapping super blunt from the South, or like, you know what I mean? The Migos saying something, Kodak Black saying something. People are like, oh, these guys are awful. They're bad. But it's like, all these dudes are speaking from the same point of like rejection and pain, but they all get viewed differently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Jermaine, baby.
J. Cole, Jermaine, Cole. I'm sure we're over a half hour at this point, right?
Definitely.
But we got into it.
Good though.
Yeah, okay. We ain't rushing.
Joe got his shit off,
Yeah, we ain't never gonna cut off it, get your shit off. But I did have another question for y'all though. Did Little Pump let Cole down? So for those, as you guys think about that question, for those who don't know, we have a kind of a running joke with each podcast where we ask if we let Nas down with our score, and that's clearly a reference to a J. Cole song that he made called "Let Nas Down." So if you guys don't know, Little Pump was out here endorsing, Donald Trump, aka he was known as Little Pimp. Yeah, he called him Little Pimp. He rocked the MAGA hat. So J. Cole sat down, was that about 2 years ago, and tried to do an interview with Little Pump to try to, I guess, bring him home or, bring him to the conscious side. To the light side. I don't know. But yeah, with Little Pimp rocking the MAGA hat, did he let J. Cole down? Survival.
The short answer is yes and no. Because I think Cole knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone knows who he is, and this was probably a little bit for some publicity and a little bit, lean.
Probably true. Joe?
What the fuck was he thinking? Like, I'm just sitting here like, like, I remember the whole him getting down to talk to him, and this again pisses me off by J. Cole. I'm like, you school rappers, but what are you doing? Like, my grandmother had a good quote. It was from a wise philosopher, and she once said, "You can't tell a dumb nigga nothing. Like, you can't tell me. If I'll get ignorant at times. If I'm ignorant, you have to let me be ignorant, dog. You can't talk me out of this." So him sitting down with him, I'm like, this does nothing for anyone, dog. Even if I saw you, put it this way, Gucci and Jeezy just fucking squashed it. There was niggas at home mad because no one died. They're like, this bullshit. So why would you do any of that? So to your point, J. Cole let me down by sitting in that environment talking to this dude. And I don't think Lil Pump or Trump, either one of them knows who the either is. There's no way Lil Pump has any idea who Donald Trump really is. Like he only knows Trump now. Shit, the Trump we knew was cool as fuck back in the day. He was in rap videos and shit, like chilling with Sinbad. You don't even know
he was
him.
Definitely Home Alone too. I just watched that on TV.
He was in Home Alone too.
Yes, Home Alone too. He was on the Fresh Prince.
He was on the Fresh Prince. He was on all that. Yeah. You don't even know him to like him like that. We do. He was
on Wrestling with Vince McMahon, dog.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Well, they're mad Republicans.
Yeah, so it's like it was just a waste of time. Excuse me, I'm ranting. I'm an old dude. I rant. All the way. It's a fail.
Alibi, the Little Pump lets Cole down.
I'm with Joe. I think Cole let himself down, man. Yeah. like, dude, it's why like you don't feature with everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I don't get it. And it's two different eras. Like I don't. Steven Jackson don't need to understand Devin Booker's generation if he don't want to. Nah. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's all right to just be like, nah, man. It's a different code. You don't need to engage with everybody. So, I think, hey, man, Cole let himself down, man. Messed up.
That's another one of those moves where I was just kind of scratching my head, where it's like of all the artists to sit down with, like of the younger generations.
Yeah.
Like why Little Pump? I was mad confused.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever had a conversation with, to Joe's point, man, some people it just ain't, and it's not that you're not capable of change or anything, but like why, I don't get it.
No, I take that back. Some of y'all, Alibi, some of y'all will never change, so don't even waste my time.
I'm saying the potential is there for everyone. Like, but that don't mean I'm going to invest my time waiting for you. Like, and especially when there's no point. Like, what did Cole have to gain from that?
Nothing.
Like
zero.
Like, I mean, other than I want to connect with like the little bros because it's like it's rough out here. They're making bad choices, but like.
Right.
Yeah, and
I mean, you can do that out of the public eye though. Like you don't need to just go to the fucking
have a sit down
boys and girls club. Like you don't need to talk to Lil Pump to do that.
Yeah. That was come on. I thought leader, Cole.
No.
No.
Yo. All right. I think it's time. Yeah, let's get the fuck up out of here.
It's enough hate.
we still like J. Cole. Getting at 21.5. Yo, side note, that was my favorite part of the episode where Joe was just not feeling that 21.5. The survivor was like, but it's binary, right? Either it's a classic or it's not. I was like, damn, just twist the knife a little bit more. So you can feel a little bit good about only like missing classic by half a point. Survivor was like, nah, either it's classic or it's not. Should have been a classic. I can just see like that episode of The Simpsons where you can see like the heartbreak in slow motion. That was like,
Ralph Wiggum, was that Ralph?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that might be. I could be wrong, but maybe that's why Joe fucks with you, Survival, about another artist that we'll review later, which I won't reveal right now.
Oh yeah, I know that motherfucker.
Anyway, in the meantime, if you want to know who that artist is, you got to continue to listen to the podcast Liner Notes podcast on Spotify and Apple every Wednesday when it drops, and mostly other places where podcasts can be found. I know you said not SoundCloud, but yeah, anywhere else, check us out. Again, those drop every Wednesday morning, so make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing. We are also broadcasting right now on Facebook, so that's Liner Notes 79, but we'll also be on YouTube. It's the Liner Notes crew, but we're still new, so we need you guys to like and subscribe to that so we can like be official, because otherwise it give us this weak ass like generic link. So right now we're like youtube.com/channel/UCY. I'm not reading that shit. Just follow this link up with it, and then just subscribe from there. We're also on Instagram, Liner 79, as well as Twitter, Liner 79. So yeah, hit us in autumn spot so we can blow up and be famous, and we can justify why we do this, our wives don't kill us because we spend too much time podcasting. Okay, I'm sorry, not famous. Just taken care of, bringing some money in, so our wives can be happy. A-Quil, Alibi, Survival, Joel. Liner Notes live episode number 2 is down. We'll do this again every Friday or Saturday or whenever we decide to do it to follow up each episode. In the meantime, check us out.
Download J. Cole. It's a good album.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's
Great
a very
album.
good.
It's a great album.
Not classic album.
January 28th.
Good song. Great song. Classic song. Just not a classic album.
It is.
All right. We out of here.
We out of here.